Deported from a country that he lived for 47 years. Winston was deported from the United Kingdom, where he has been living for 47 years. He arrived in the UK at the age of 6, brought there by family friends, and he's been living there ever since. Built his family there, belonged to a community. UK is his home. He doesn't know any other home. And in 2011, something happened. Winston got caught up in a situation, and that led to him being deported from the country that he lived for 47 years to a country where he left when he was only 6 years old. Taken from his family. A country where he said he felt like a complete stranger. He had no ties. He felt like he didn't belong there. Hi guys, good morning. Thank you and welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. This channel shares real life experiences and stories to help to inform us, to educate us, and for us to learn lessons from it. I would love for you to support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Turn on your notification so you won't miss the next video. So, Winston arrived in the UK, brought here by family friends in 1966. He was only 6 years old, and he's lived in the United Kingdom ever since. And in 1966, if you're coming from any British colony, you are regarded as a British subject. And that means you're granted automatic leave to remain, automatic citizenship. So Winston was granted leave to remain, indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom. So his status wasn't a problem. He has been living legally for 47 years. And in 2011, something happened. There was a riot in London. There was looting. There was vandalizing. People were stealing things. And Winston was on his way from work. Saw all the looting. A spare of the moment decision. Unwise decision. He decided to steal some jewelry from a shop in the spare of the moment, and that was his mistake. Helping himself to the jewelry from the shop. That led to him being deported back to a country where he left when he was 6 years old. The country where he said he felt like a stranger. So Winston was arrested for stealing the jewelry, and the authorities decided that he should be deported. Winston tried to convince them that he was not illegal, he was living here legally. He's the wrong man, they should not deport him. But the authorities wouldn't listen. They decided that he should be deported back to his country. The country he left when he was 6 years old. He didn't even see it as his country. The problem was, though, that when Winston arrived in the UK in 1966, he was not into education. And he didn't have a job in later life, which means that he would have a record. He was doing construction work. So there was no record of him living in the UK legally all that time. So when he was arrested for taking that jewelry, for stealing the jewelry, the judge said he wanted to see proof that Winston was in the country legally. And that was a problem because there was the lack of record. Winston didn't see his status as a problem before. He knows he was not illegal, so he didn't see that as a problem. So it was a shock to him when the judge was asking for proof that he was here legally. And he didn't see himself as anything other than a British citizen. So Winston went to court and the judge ordered his deportation. He was served with deportation order and taken to a deportation center in Heathrow, despite having indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom. Winston said he tried to commit suicide several times after he was taken to the deportation center, because the idea of being sent to a country that he left when he was 6 years old, the country that he has no connection with, was not worth thinking about. He tried everything to get the authorities to see that they had the wrong person. He was not illegal. He was not living here illegally. But they would not listen. So he was deported to his home country, Jamaica, thousands of miles away from his family, from his life, from the community that he built in the UK, everything that he knows. Winston said when he arrived in Kingston, he was called names: deportee, Englishman, all kinds of names. He was a stranger. He didn't know anyone. And to make matters worse, the Home Office placed a deportation order on his file, on his passport, so he couldn't return to the UK in any way. He was homeless in his home country. He became homeless. He was living off vegetables from the market. He said he had a rough time. He experienced all kinds of things. People being beaten up, stabbings, murders. But Winston's legal team never gave up. They requested for a judicial review. So that is asking the court to review the deportation order which was granted to Winston. And they had their request granted. So the deportation order was reviewed. The case went to court, and as soon as the case was heard, the Home Office decided that he was wrongly deported. Winston was wrongly deported. The Home Office admitted that they were wrong, and so they decided to facilitate Winston's return to the UK. What are your views on that? Leave me your comments. So Winston said he's very happy. No date has been set for him to return, but he will be returning in the next few weeks, months, to the UK, to his family, to the life, to the place where he feels he belongs. Let me know what your views are. There are so many things that we can take from this. And some people are saying, well, it's his fault. He shouldn't have gotten himself involved in stealing, and all that. And he admitted that was a mistake. That was a spur of moment mistake. He got caught up in the moment. And he admitted it was a mistake. But the fact is, he was not illegal in the country. Was that fair to deport him? Why didn't they have waited to get evidence to show that he is legal? Is that fair? What are your thoughts on this? And that should tell us that living in a country, regardless of how many years, how long, 47 years, how many years, that should remind us that time alone doesn't equal security. There are so many other things that need to be in place. And is it fair for people to be deported from a place where they have built a life, family, to be forced back to a country that they have no ties? Is that fair? Leave me your comments. And as I said, Winston will be returning to the UK. He said he's very happy to be coming back and he's looking forward to getting back to his normal life, playing football, which he used to do when he was here, and getting back to his painting and decorating job. He said he's a working man and he's looking forward to that. Let me know your thoughts.